Peace. Happy now. Now's the vibrator. I was moving too fast. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Right now, I want to bring up a little bit of alchemy. Basically, I want to bring up how they always talk about the red sulfur, how they talk about the sulfur and mercury dealing with alchemy. Now, first off, alchemy is, basically the study of, transmuting or changing or transforming energies. Now, you know, alchemy, the trueness of alchemy, what I'm saying, is more of a spiritual alchemy. Now, the things out there, what they tell you and tell us, it's like, oh yeah, it's about taking lead and turning it into gold. Like they make it seem like it's physical alchemy. But also, this is somewhat of a front. I ain't gonna say, well, in essence, yeah, it is. You know, Alchemy, matter of fact, something indigenous, because matter of fact, alchemy, alchem, chemit, you know what I'm saying? So it's something ancient and indigenous, but, you know, uh, as the Europeans and the Greeks, Romans, all that got their hands on it, they basically kind of, want to hide the information from us, you know what I'm saying? So in essence, they turned it into, oh yeah, this is physical alchemy, and it's about, actually taking some sulfur and mixing it with some real mercury and trying to, come out with a different chemical, or, taking this lead and, basically trying to send you on a wild goose chase. Same thing with like with Aleister Crowley teachings and stuff like that, being seeming like it's so devilish, but it was just to chase you away from the knowledge or whatever. But the alchemy, say for instance, of the sulfur and the mercury, is basically like a metaphor or symbol. In essence, what a sulfur is like a symbol for the masculine energy, because sulfur is very, active, masculine, and combustible, kind of fire, so it has that masculine aspect. And mercury carries the feminine aspect. It's more flowing and receptive, what I'm saying, magnetic. And basically, the mixing of the sulfur and the mercury is a metaphor of basically the perfect marriage between the yin and yang energies, or the feminine and masculine energies. Matter of fact, like with all the ancient texts, the mercury is like the Ida, the Eve or Shakti or Isis, and then sulfur is like the Pingala, Adam, Shiva, Osiris. You know what I'm saying? Those two, the Ida and Pingala. You could see the sulfur and mercury as a personification of that also, and the Sushumna is like the child, in between the two, in which I want to bring that up right quick just to show you, and it's on all aspects, where you got the matter of fact of protons, neutrons, and electrons, and then you got the male, female, and the child in the middle. Same way the energy runs up the spine, and also these energies correspond with the platonic solids also, you know what I'm saying? Which I'm not gonna get into because this video not about that. But, you know, on all levels, it's about merging, that divine feminine and that divine masculine and bring it together, you know what I'm saying? And all that alchemy, matter of fact, and two, they also bring up the philosopher's stone, but the philosopher's stone is the pineal gland, you know what I'm saying? Basically, the pineal gland, when you do your breathing exercises right and you raise that Christ seed, matter of fact, and the Christ seed raises up through the sushumna. I always almost forget that, through the rises up through the sushumna, and basically that's the child. Like I show you that Miller pillar. That's why it's always, the mother, the father, and that child, which in the Catholic religion they turn it into a homosexual thing and make it like just about the man, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But it's about that Christ seed coming up, you know what I'm saying? And that basically that all, what they'll call it is like a all, or that, that seed, but basically like that all in the spine, and when you're breathing correctly, it raises up, comes through the medulla and secretes the pineal gland. When the pineal gland gets secreted with that, with that all, it hardens up, but it kind of activates, that energy and helps to raise the kundalini also, you know what I'm saying? Because that's where, from the base of the spine, that's the Christ story, from, born in the manger, you know what I'm saying? That's by the root chakra, where the kundalini is, in the manger you got shit and animals, lower nature, you know what I'm saying? That's where the Christ was born. So, that's the metaphorically speaking. This is allegories, you know what I'm saying? But the philosopher's stone is basically the pineal gland when when those energies, matter of fact, in the Ida and Pangala is also seen as the two thieves that was crucified on side of Christ in that story also, But the philosopher's stone is the pineal gland, and when you have the perfect marriage between the Ida and the Pangala, between that masculine and feminine, you develop that philosopher's stone, and but that's what they really get down to. And two, I want to dip into a few. I ain't gonna say it's really physical alchemy, but in essence, a few little aspects of physical alchemy. Another thing I want to get to too, though, with this alchemy is also about the transmutation of your subconscious, or the transforming of your perception also, because that's why magic is tied to alchemy also, because when you basically transmute and transform your perception and subconscious, that's what allows you to create on a magical level, you know what I'm saying? So when you dip into that subconscious, when you do that, that allows for you to create. Because what's disallowing you from creating is the subconscious not believing that you are a god that can manifest things. It's been programmed to be a human that depends on the government and outside things for its power. So therefore, it takes you away from your powers to manifest. So is the transmutation, alchemy is transmutation of the subconscious, and and the perception. When you change up your perception, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. My brethren always say. And matter of fact, too, and what's going on right now, like with the consciousness raising, it's the end of the world only for the masculine dominance. That masculine energy dominance is the end of the world for that. It's the end of the world for the ego. You know what I'm saying? But not, and it's the birth of that feminine energy coming back, so it could balance off what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But like, again, the alchemy deals with more of like the transmutation of your spirit, of your subconscious and perception, but also on other levels, like where you take a negative experience and turn it into a positive experience. That's alchemy. That's spiritual alchemy within your own life. You know what I'm saying? Like the expression say, turning lemons into lemonade in essence, but a little different. Basically like turning lead into gold. Because another form of alchemy too. Musicians or artists, especially rappers, you know what I'm saying, taking the lead from a pencil and turning it into gold bars, you know what I'm saying? Or they writing these rhymes, and these rhymes are like gold bars, or they turn into gold records, you know what I'm saying? Lead into gold, you know what I'm saying? In which they really using magic because they using spells, spell a word, to cast a spell, spelling, you know what I'm saying? They putting words out there, the vibration, but also some, like I say, physical forms of alchemy, but not necessarily, but in essence, you know what I'm saying, more of just basic chemistry, and in essence, but like say for instance, you got the hydrochloric acid and nitric acid. When you drop a piece of gold and those two solutions mixed together, when you drop a piece of gold in the solution, you get chloroauric acid. You know what I'm saying? So you got two solutions, and when you drop a piece of gold into it, you get a whole another solution. So that's somewhat of like a physical alchemy in essence. As a matter of fact, in the reverse method, you could pull the gold out of the chloroauric acid. You know what I'm saying? Basically with sodium metabisulfate. When that's added to chloroauric acid, it basically pulls the gold. You'll start seeing the gold separating in the chloroauric acid. And then when you look at the name chloroauric, you can see the AU, you know what I'm saying? Which, stands for gold in the periodic table. But, that's like somewhat of some physical alchemy that you could actually really do, you know. Matter of fact, and everything does so much with electrons being exchanged, because another somewhat form of alchemy, and it's all like little experiments that I kind of looked up and saw people doing on YouTube, basically. But I also saw another one just showing the passing of electrons through certain chemicals where they use zinc dissolved in mercury and vanadium, which is another element. Matter of fact, vanadium is yellow in color. also like a liquid metal. So vanadium is yellow, but when you mix the zinc dissolved in mercury, when you mix it with the vanadium, the mercury helps the zinc give the electrons to the vanadium, and then as the vanadium gets these electrons, it starts changing color. It goes kind of like from green to blue to purple. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, almost like a transmutation of the chakras in essence, green, you know, blue, purple. As above, so below. But you start, matter of fact, and that's another aspect dealing with this also. But so when you mix the zinc dissolved in mercury with the vanadium, the mercury helps the zinc to give off electrons, so it creates like a change in the color of the vanadium. So another like I say, like somewhat of physical alchemy in essence. But what alchemy really is about is spiritual alchemy, and for sure is about transmutation of like your subconscious and transforming your perception, because that's what you dealing with magic. When you always hearing about magic, the Kabbalah, alchemy, you know what I'm saying? The trueness of the alchemy is to transmute and transform and change your subconscious and perception in order for you to manifest things on a higher level with to really use your magic abilities in essence. So that's what it's truly about. But that's all I want to speak on. Matter of fact, and two, on another aspect, whether as above, so below, and looking at it on a physical level too, of a physical alchemy where you could pay attention to things around you. Matter of fact, it look like some on my some dry skin or something. Use some old shea butter. But also like studying the chemical makeup, say for instance, of black tourmaline. Because think about it like this, we know that black tourmaline transmutes negative energy. So by looking at the chemical makeup and studying, the the geometric structure of the molecules of tourmaline and the chemical makeup, when you look into it, then you could end up finding out, what's in tourmaline that actually makes it transmute negative energy. You know what I'm saying? Unlike other stones that may not. You know what I'm saying? So that's somewhat of a little physical alchemy right there. And whatever aspect, like say for instance, if it's the certain, for example, a certain shape to the molecule, like there's a certain geometry to the molecule that allows it to transmute things, then you could visualize that certain shape around your body, and that could help transmute, negative energy, help further transmute negative energy from your body, you know what I'm saying, as far as if you already got the stone. But, that's just an example of, when you dig deeper into these things, you could use that knowledge for a spiritual on spiritual insight and for spiritual growth, as well as just doing things in the physical. Matter of fact, and that's separating it into the left and the right brain. You could either be physical and logical about it, or intuitive, you know what I'm saying, and deal with it on a more spiritual level. But that's something to think about. As a matter of fact, also dealing with the black stones, I thought about that too, like how the black protects and transmute negative energy, and like on the as above so below aspect, like where the indigenous melanated people on Earth, you know what I'm saying, we basically protect Mother Earth from negativity in essence, you know what I'm saying, like almost like guardians of the galaxy. We the indigenous, you know, basically the parents of humankind and on Earth, you know what I'm saying? But more in general, you know what I'm saying? Like we protect from negative energy. And two, I looked at a bunch of aspects where like taking a lot of negativity but remaining magnanimous and positive, like as melanated people, we take a whole lot of stuff from our oppressor, but still we smile and stay radiant and stay respectful for the most part, most of them. And even the ones that kind of mount off a little bit still don't have no real internal hate. That's the thing too, like regardless of how much it's thrown at us, it's like still like unless somebody is, how can I say, been pulled into having that hateful mind frame through being in America and dealing with that European white supremacy aspect. But for the most part, most melanated people are magnanimous when it comes to dealing with negativity, naturally, you know what I'm saying, not natural being. As a matter of fact, cause I laugh because basically we so forgiving and so nice that it almost make us seem like we got Stockholm syndrome. Like dealing with falling in love with your kidnapper, basically. But like, well, we being oppressed and our oppressor still, still trying to mess over, but we still find a way to show love and, and which is a good thing because you're not supposed to do the or do the same thing that your oppressor doing to you. You're not supposed to hate back. You know what I'm saying? That love, transmutation, alchemy. So just like that black tourmaline takes negative energy and transmute it into positive energy, as above, so below. You know what I'm saying? That black tourmaline, matter of fact, are like shungite. You know what I'm saying? Shungite also, well, elite shungite, 98% carbon. You know what I'm saying? What our melanin is highly based, what it's made out of or based out of is carbon. You know what I'm saying? And just like over time, pressurized carbon, turn into a diamond. When you pressure a black person, you know what I'm saying? We turn into diamonds, you know what I'm saying? We shine under pressure, you know. So as above, so below. And like the little tarot card, you know what I'm saying? The man pointing up and down, that's what that stands for, as above, so below. But that's it. I just wanted to get into a little alchemy, you know what I'm saying? And basically, just realizing that it's about, again, not really about physical, playing with chemicals and doing any of that. One drop here and one drop of this, which it can be on that level, but it's more of a, transmutation of the subconscious and the perception, you know what I'm saying? Transforming that in order for you to manifest things like the magician, you know what I'm saying? Like the magi. But that's about it. Peace. Oh, happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. But right now. Hey.